Apologize for the interruption. Phil had a work call, and then my phone stopped recording. So are we rolling on the SoundCloud version too now, Jordan?
There you go.
We are.
Good.
Yeah,
I never had this on in the first place. Sorry.
So anyways, tell us a little bit about the Michigan-Rutgers game. Did you watch any of it, Phil? Because there was like a whole 2 seconds where they were tied with Rutgers, and it was like
that was not the first half you were looking for.
Executive producer Jordan Miles said the funniest line I've heard in a long time when he got here. It just surprised me on him. He says, I know we're going to spend most of the time talking about how Michigan was tied with Rutgers 7-all. If I know it, instead of Ohio State, Michigan State game, if I know anything about this podcast. So yeah, Michigan was tied for a millisecond. 7-all.
A millisecond.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick set. It was, you play Rutgers. It is what it is. It's like they got some work, some young guys to work. They set out a few starters, and that was good to see for me. Like defensively, Josh Metellus didn't play. Aubrey Solomon didn't play, and especially with Metellus, there was backup safety. Kid hadn't played much this year, so he played the whole entire game. And he's from New Jersey, number 20. I don't know why his name's escaping me.
I don't even know why it's important where he's from.
My Michigan fan friends, forgive me. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, we got a lot of young kids some work.
They will never forgive you.
And we did what I thought we would do is we didn't allow Shea to run at all. He didn't run one time, and he chucked the ball a bunch of times. I think we wanted to work on the passing game. And so he did. He had a great passing day. I mean, it's Rutgers. Guys were wide open. They're a really, really bad football team, and Michigan dominated them. And
didn't cover, though.
Which is kind of a tease.
It was 42, 35. They got to win by 36 and a half.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It was fine. They gave up one long run. That was like, it was funny because they gave up, it was an 80-yard touchdown, and I was like, we haven't given up a run like that the whole year. And, I was watching with my son.
Rutgers.
Yeah, like where did that come from? But you gotta forgive them.
You can only hold them down for so long.
You have to.
Well, it was early.
We don't. We don't have to forgive shit.
Well, yeah, but you don't care. You wish you would have ran for 5 80-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, I do. It's just like you said before this podcast started. You're like, be honest. You wouldn't want to see like Michigan lose to Indiana. I'm like, I'm not going to actively root against you, but I'm not going to be disappointed if you lose.
Right. And by the way, Brad Hawkins, that's the number 20. That's the kid that started at safety that hadn't got much work this year.
Oh, we're coming back around to that very
I knew it would
point.
come. See, that's what happens when you get older.
Good.
It's in there.
Good.
Yeah, anyway.
Good. So anyways, I wanted to bring up something else.
There wasn't a lot to talk about in the Rutgers game.
But yeah, there's not a lot. So which is why we're going to talk about something else.
Okay.
This part of the season is very beautiful because you're coming to the very end. You're coming up on the game. And what else has just started?
College basketball.
College basketball.
Yes.
That is correct. We are about 2 games, some people 3 games into the season at this point. And wow, good luck to anybody who has to face off against Duke this year.
They look like a pro team.
And
they're freshmen. They're all freshmen.
Alabama of basketball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm very pumped for that. Quick offshoot, just because he brought up Alabama. I really do hope that the NCAA finds violations for collusion with the SEC and Alabama in this investigation. Did you not hear about this?
I have not heard.
So because of their game against Mississippi State, where Alabama had 0 penalties, and then there was a phantom holding call or illegal block when Mississippi State scored a touchdown.
Mississippi State scored a touchdown. Yeah. They took it off the board because they said it was a block in the back.
Everybody has watched every replay, and there was
nobody touched them.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
And so there was this phantom call, touchdown goes away. I mean, Mississippi State wasn't going to win, let's be honest. But
it should have been a 21-7 game.
Yeah, but the fact that you go from a 0 penalties for Alabama, which, okay, it could happen, but I have high doubts in that sense. And then you have a phantom call like that. So finally, the NCAA said, okay, we need to do some investigating here. So now they're investigating the SEC and Alabama in collusion. Which it's going to be extremely hard, if possible at all, to prove that,
anything, right?
Yeah.
I hope it happens for everyone in.
I think everybody in
sake.
the world is sick of Alabama.
Absolutely.
Everything to do with Alabama.
I think people who don't even like college football are sick of Alabama.
Yeah.
But sorry, let's get back to basketball and stop hating on Alabama for like a minute. Ohio State, we're not ranked, but you know this is our second year with the coach. They did great last year. I mean, we made it to the dance, so I don't care. You guys had.
I've been to every Michigan game so far.
Which is just 2 though.
We
right?
had we had an exhibition game and then 2 regular season games.
Okay.
The first regular season game was horrible. This looked horrible. This
But
last game we looked all right in the second half. Yeah, we played cupcakes though.
I love cupcakes.
Defensively played great, but it's cupcakes. And then you can see the talent, you can see the freshmen and what they're going to bring, but the chemistry's not there yet. And so,
but Michigan doesn't have the chemistry until later in the season every year.
No, they do this every year. So I'm not concerned about it.
But you should be concerned about your upcoming schedule.
It's very boring to watch, to be quite honest with you.
Your upcoming schedule is going to be
we play Villanova on the road Wednesday, which is like, oh God. And then they play North Carolina after Thanksgiving. That one's at home.
That's going to be rough.
You're not ready for those games from what I saw. But you know what? Sometimes you're surprised in college basketball. I've seen this in other years. All of a sudden, they play beyond what you thought they could against a good team. And Villanova's got new pieces this year too, so maybe they're going to struggle too. But one guy I want to mention, he's from Canada, Izzy Brazdakis. He beat out Isaiah Livers for the starting.
Why do you guys always have one player that has the most ridiculous name?
It's just it's a beeline.
I know. I think it's your
one international.
They're like, get great players, and then just get somebody with a really messed up name.
One international guy. We always got to have a little international flavor. And
international being Canada.
Anyway, he's starting
Canada.
He is going to be one hell of a player. Keep your eye on him. 6'8", he can shoot inside, outside. He doesn't look like a freshman. I was really impressed by him. He's already starting. Other than that, a lot of guys back from last year. But as I said, got to get the chemistry down.
We haven't been tested, but it looked like a good game. We beat Cincinnati. We beat Purdue Fort Wayne, which I didn't even know that was a school. So that was cool. But I mean, off to a good start. 2-0, as Urban always likes to say. The great thing about 2-0 is getting to go 3-0. So thanks for that, Urban.
And Michigan State just beat my guy Ricky Doyle in Florida Gulf Coast.
Kansas first was last week, and
that's a rough game to start.
Hell yeah. First game of this regular season, and it ended up losing by 5 points. Still had a shot to win at the end. Kansas went up big in the first half. And then we showed some grit that I really appreciated because we didn't fold. We could have easily folded. Azubuike is a freaking beast. He made Nick Ward look like Lilliputian, and we really struggled against him. But they just got athletes all over. They could finish. It was clear how much more athletic they were. But. Yeah, we played a bunch of guys, saw freshmen on the floor, including against Florida Gulf Coast. Our three-point shooting was solid. Free throw shooting is abysmal, which we really need to pick up.
Michigan's. Oh my God.
I mean, even Cassius Winston, who's like 90% free throw shooter, missed, I want to say 3 or 4 against Kansas. It was bad. So got to get that. Lots of time to play, but to show improvement. But we got some really. I'm excited about this team. I think they're really they're gonna be cohesive. Josh Langford is going to be the key. He's going to be the key to us going above and beyond and what we're going to accomplish this year. But lots of talented young freshmen who I think are going to contribute, and Gabe Brown, Aaron, his name is losing it. Our best freshman. He's a wing, and he can soar. He can really. You see, he's physically ready to play with at this level, so that's good to see. Got a Jaren Jackson light addition in Marcus Bingham Jr. Scrawny as hell, really long, but can shoot the ball. Very, very. He's just a poor man's Jaren Jackson, but nice. He's going to really bring some things to the table. So
I think this will be a very interesting season.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting though with college basketball? I didn't interrupt, but when you brought those things up, how different the beginning of college basketball season is compared to football.
Oh yeah.
In football, you jump into cold, deep water right away, and you better come out,
right. You have to,
swimming or you're dead. Like
you don't. That's why you're not seeing Kansas, Michigan State, Duke, Kentucky in football.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
I mean, Harbaugh brought up a point that I guess we all knew. I heard him talk about it in the spring, but I've never heard anybody really say it. It's literally the only sport, college football, that doesn't have any preseason games.
Yeah.
You can't even name another sport that doesn't have that.
Right.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think? So, kind of with basketball and football, what do you think about
a crossover sport?
Chris Webber coming back?
Oh, we already covered this in like episode 3 when they announced he was coming back. We're not revisiting that.
I don't know.
Remember we had that talk? Actually, if you play that back, because you don't listen to him after I listen to that podcast.
I don't listen to him
That's
either.
as fired up as I've heard you.
Yeah, well, it's just...
He's a passionate guy.
I mean, he was crucified for a long, long time, and it just seems like the mob says it's okay to welcome him back now, so it's okay, but...
Well, we do let the mob run everything we do.
I applauded it. I was glad to see him back. I had no problem with it.
Okay.
I mean, so much time has passed, and it's just...
Take another beer.
He didn't kill anybody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It isn't...
No, he didn't kill anybody.
Yet.
But
you got conspiracy theory.
it was the singular
Would
focus.
shock you if that's next.
I'll have one too. It was a singular focus of wrath for
Correct.
Michigan fans, but now Michigan fans decide, okay, it's cool for everyone to like him again.
You forget, man. You ever get a fight with your buddy or your wife or something, and it's like, you know what? I forgive.
My
Forgiveness is cleansing.
yeah.
All right. Well, it should be interesting, but we got other things to talk about, and that is upcoming games and what we're looking at with the playoffs.
All right.
Coming up.
Playoffs. That was my Jim
Mora.
We're
Oh, okay.
talking about playoffs.
That's one of the greatest rants.
It was. The offense
The thing that
sucked,
comes
the defense
before
sucked.
that, which happens in what's
Diddly
it?
poo.
What are we at? We are at, is it 10 days until the
Oh
game?
God. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
10 is there's a game in between,
Yeah, and it's Maryland
You know what?
and Indiana, so it's bullshit.
I had my Twitter addiction has been well documented by you two gentlemen.
Yes.
Last night I was on there, and this is what you call preventative.
Can you stop doing that in the middle of the
This
night?
is what you call like preventative maintenance, because I tweet out, don't even lecture me about looking ahead. I'm a freaking fan. I can look ahead till Ohio State. I can look ahead to next year if I want. I won't affect the outcome of the game.
Right.
Players should not look ahead. Coaches should not look ahead.
Yeah. No,
Fans can look ahead.
I'm not talking about like that.
You
I'm
just
just
give me
saying. No, I'm just saying that there is literally a game. There's a week
Yeah.
in between
Well,
that.
Right.
Here's the
Next
thing.
week we're gonna
Here's
talk about
the thing that
Michigan,
Phil
Ohio State.
doesn't understand
Yeah.
is that there is hair on the line for this.
Yeah. Those of you that don't know, Andrew and I
don't
have an
understand.
annual bet. This is our third year in a
right,
row.
I don't.
The winner gets to shave the loser's head. Obviously, I've had a couple of bald domes.
But you always end up
Compliment.
with a goatee and become this extremely pissed off person.
If I
for no
don't,
reason
if I don't
whatsoever.
grow the goatee, I literally look like a cue ball, and it's not it's not a good look.
He
So I
looks
have
like,
to go.
He looks like somebody shaved like an animal at one of those petting zoos. And
Take a look at our speaker.
Check out our website. There's photos and there's photos of past head shavings.
Yes,
But yes, with that on the line.
Yeah.
So
So it might be your year, but it might just be another one for me. So I'm excited. I'm not gonna get too into this shit talking until a couple days prior. We do have a nice surprise coming up, which will not be a podcast. It will be an exclusive interview. I'll tell you more about that next week, heading into the game. But
Ooh, a tease.
yes, it's going to be wonderful.
Yep.
Yay. Anyways, so this week you guys have Indiana, which at home.
Indiana over the last 5-6 years has played Michigan tough. I think almost every time.
I feel like they've played all of our teams relatively tough.
That's gonna be frustrating to be an Indiana fan because they're so much better than they used to be, but they still never win.
Right.
It's like, yeah, we lose closer games, but they still lose every freaking time almost.
Were they 4-4, 4-5 right now?
Sounds about right. last two in Bloomington went to overtime with Michigan, and then the last one in 2016 at home,
5-5.
we beat them by 10 points in the snow. I think Michigan will win the game.
Aren't you guys supposed to get snow again for this game?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's going to be freaking cold.
It's gonna be great.
4 o'clock. But are we doing our picks yet? Like, am I supposed to talk about that game yet?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
So it's going to be closer than these other games have been, I think.
Okay.
But it's not going to be I don't think Michigan's got any reason to fret. But I see like a 35 or 42 to 35-14. That's my pick.
Okay.
A game like that.
I would say like 31 to 21.
Okay, you think it will be closer?
Yeah.
Now, do you think it'll be closer because it's like looking past, it's Ohio State week the next
No,
week?
I mean, okay, that plays a factor, but I'm also seeing that like this is the time that teams like Indiana have a chance to step up. Nothing's going to make or break their season, but they can make or break other people's season.
It's like their Super Bowl because they can make a statement now.
Yeah, exactly.
And like wreck
So,
Michigan's.
like, your entire season was mediocre, but you beat Michigan.
Yeah.
So, okay, and Michigan is the 4th-ranked team in the country right now, so that's a great win for them.
Right.
Thank you very much. They're not going to not going to enter the top 25. If they win one more game, they do become bowl eligible. So they got that going for them. So it's literally just a last ditch effort to have a good win.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot to be said for playing a
31-21.
spoiler when you're.
I go 35-14. He went 31-21. What's your pick?
I think you're going to see a similar conservative effort out of Michigan. I don't think they're going to go nuts, but I still think if it was in Bloomington, I would say not be worried, but spoiler alert. You know, like a
struggle. Yeah.
It's not gonna. I think you guys are gonna win. I think it's gonna be close to like 40 to 10.
40 to 10.
I think you're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Wow.
All right.
We have Maryland at Maryland. I want to throw out, like 35 to 7, but I don't know how accurate that's going to be. Luckily, it is going to be like 50 degrees and warm, not warm, but like warmer than we've been playing in over here, so that'll be a good game. I think this is literally just going to be a tune-up. I don't see them going super hard or have a very convincing win. I see them trying to get more practice with Tate Martell. They used Tate Martell a little bit in the Michigan State game because they stopped using him for a while. And as great as Dwayne Haskins is, he's not a runner at all. So you throw Tate Martell in there and start doing the dual quarterback, it's not enough time for you guys to study it and pick up on it. So I think it's a great time to utilize that and also give our defense another shot because defense actually looked better than before last week. I will say that.
But it was against Michigan State's offense.
I got a question for you on that, though. Because Michigan has used dual quarterbacks like that before, right? And sometimes with some success. But it's even kind of like when they use Peppers as a wildcat because we're trying to generate any kind of offense. And against the weaker teams, he'd take off running all the time. But against the good teams, like against you guys, it didn't work very well. Every once in a while, you get an 8-yard run or something.
But we also had phenomenal defenses back then. We don't have a phenomenal defense.
But I'm saying, and I think Tate Martell's a good core. I mean, I watched the Michigan State-Ohio State game. I think he's good. He offers something unique. But the problem I have, unless they're going to have him throwing the ball too, against a good defense, it's like, okay, he's in. You know what the hell is coming. I mean, you know what I mean? They know.
But what if they actually use 2 QBs?
Oh, they're going to use Tate Martell in the backfield. Like
no, I think he's just saying what it presents some options. I mean, even sometimes
it can also be used to flush out all of your timeouts.
And it's not like he has no right arm.
Right.
It's not like he doesn't have a right arm.
Right.
He can throw the ball.
Right.
So
he just needs 5 steps to do.
I was saying if they just trot him out and he runs the ball every time, they're gonna catch on to that.
Right.
I mean, why they'll switch it up, but to use both of them, it's really going to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
I think it's a
mind fuck.
It was a smart move to do that. Just kind of give our defense a look. Yeah. I mean, listen. I don't think I need to prove anything more in terms of Michigan State's defense. It's fucking legit. It's really good. You guys score like 7,000 points a game, and we held you to 24. Was it?
26
26.
to 6.
But 9 points was given to them.
Yeah, one of the
not by your
touchdowns was defensive, a fumble in the end zone.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then safety.
Correct. So what I'm saying is,
So your offense really scored 18. No, my math is bad. 17.
Your math is terrible.
Your offense scored 17.
Yes.
Yeah, and ours only scored 21.
right. I mean,
But your
our
defense
defense is,
scoring.
and our defense has done what it's,
We're already arguing over
but our
that.
defense has done what it's doing with literally the handicap of carrying an entire offense. I mean, that's
We get you, buddy.
no. I'm just saying
We're
you
a
have
little
to.
excited about the game next
I
Saturday.
know.
But tell
Nips.
us who
Right.
you guys are playing.
We are playing. We're playing at Nebraska, which has me nervous because they can put up some points.
And they're getting better. They are
put
getting
up a
better.
lot of yards. I was nervous about this game before the season, and then injuries struck and tore our season apart. Like it just was. Even though we had wins, it was just our season never was the same. But then, so I was like, Nebraska sucked completely, so I stopped worrying about it. But then, as things have come about, it makes me nervous. Where we have no quarterback to count on.
The good news is their strength is totally their offense. So that
Correct.
goes into your strength.
Correct. It just the problem is, as it has been, as it was against you guys, as it was against Ohio State, and even Maryland. But we got the right answer, the answer we wanted. What is our offense going to generate? What can our offense generate? If it can't generate anything, or if it's only generating 20 points, well, our defense better have a hell of a game.
And it's a lot like Michigan's defense was last year, because Michigan had a great defense last year, but they wore down because the offense couldn't stay on the field, and so their offense is always handing the defense in a bad position, and they're getting right back on the field, and even a good defense that's going to wear them out, right? So by the fourth quarter, your defense isn't nearly as good as it was in the first quarter.
And we've had that issue, but I think there's like a tipping point where in both games, Michigan against Michigan, Ohio State, it was literally 40 minutes. 2/3 of the game, our defense was on the field. If our defense is on the field literally like 35 minutes or less, you can deal with that. They can do that, but get some points on the board. You got to get some points. 6 points just ain't cutting it, guys. So I don't know. It's going to be a big. Nebraska's going to be hype. It's going to be a big game. So relatively big game for them, and they want a big win. They want to win over a bigger name and a more successful team. They didn't get one against you guys. So
what do you think final score will be?
oh my God, it's just tough to predict. If Rocky Lombardi is in there, it just depends on who starts at quarterback. I mean, it's so fucking hard to predict when, do you have a quarterback who can't pass the ball?
Yep.
I'm going to say we're going to hold them. It's going to be, again, something like a 24. Oh, fucking no. When are we going to score 24 points? I don't know. I just say 24. I mean, I'd like to think that we can really keep them in check with our defense.
Your defense is bad, man.
Their defense is bad. That's where I'm
Lombardi
like,
gonna like that defense.
oh my God. Purdue's pass defense sucked and he lit them up. So I would hope that
Michigan scored 56.
I would like to, I still think, but you got to understand, lighting them up for Michigan State right now is 24 points. Like, we scored 24 points and it's like, boom, 4th of July, bitches.
I get it.
So, but I'll go with that, 24-17.
All right, I want to pick their score because I didn't do that.
Oh, great. Just what I wanted you to do.
Yeah. Ohio State's going to win that game 42-21.
Okay.
All right? You're going to score more than you thought, but you're going to give up more than what you thought.
Yeah, you seem to be having a trend.
And
with
I
that.
picked them to beat you last week, and they made me look really stupid, and I don't like to look that stupid.
But you've looked stupid multiple times.
Yeah,
that wasn't your first time.
But
Every day that ends in a Y.
But it's insult to injury with the Spartans make me look stupid. So I'm going against them this week. I'm not doing that 2 weeks in a row. So I think Nebraska is going to win 27-21.
I got 24-21 Michigan State win.
Okay, very similar.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do?
I'm actually, this is a really important game in terms of your run defense. Maryland has actually a prolific, if you look at the numbers, prolific run offense, even if it's not against top teams, and we held them to like 23 yards rushing or something like that. But this is are you guys going to be in the Illinois category, or are you going to be in the Michigan State category where it's shut them down? Probably somewhere in between, I'm sure, but you have to If you guys can't contain their run offense, then it spells trouble against Michigan. If you can shut them down, then I really see they're not going to be able to stop.
Hey, we're going to shut them
the
down
offense.
and open up shot. So what's the score?
So my score, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with 31-17.
Very similar to mine.
Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit. As we get closer, this isn't a week of like huge potential upsets, but there is Syracuse Notre Dame.
Very
number 13, number 3.
In New York City, right?
Yeah, in New York City at Yankee Stadium.
At the Estadio, the Yankees.
And so one thing, and this pissed me off because Oklahoma State played a phenomenal game against Oklahoma last weekend.
Yes. Did you watch
that?
Did
not watch it.
If it weren't for the shanked
They
extra
kicked
point,
an extra point. Shanked an extra point, so then they had to go for 2 for the win, and they missed a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, so they won. They
had
won.
Oklahoma.
But it.
If my aunt had a dick.
I know.
That's
She'd
pretty
be my
gross.
uncle.
Yeah, good defense, Sooners. Nice defense.
But
Very
here's
impressive.
what I'm hoping for. I hope they come back strong because they are playing at home with West Virginia coming in. So I would love to see that as the upset. As much as I would love to see Notre Dame get upset by Syracuse, if I had to choose, I would much rather see West Virginia get upset by Oklahoma State. So that is going to be my upset pick of the week.
I don't have my phone. My phone is recording us, so I'm going to borrow Andrew's phone.
Don't go through my pictures.
Oh, wow. Never seen you like that,
This
Andrew.
is good video, isn't it? All right.
Oh God.
Her.
So
I'm looking at her.
So on the text, no, I won't even say it because I'm nice, Steve.
Thank you.
I was gonna say your response
You'll
when I
get like
originally
the authorities
when I
after me and all
originally
that.
yeah
No.
exactly. I don't want to see that happen.
Not everybody knows my humor. You know what I'm
Whoa.
saying?
Your humor? Not everybody knows. Is
it too small of an upset for me to say I think Iowa State's going to beat Texas?
No, because Iowa State isn't ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're ranked now.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Is that too light?
I did not know they
If
were
that
ranked
doesn't
now.
count, then count.
Upset alert.
Mark me down for Syracuse
Big time.
over Notre Dame.
22-19. Yeah, that's a little bit. I thought Texas was it. Who are you saying?
Mark it down. Right here, you heard it first.
All right.
There's no more controversy. There's no more undefeated season. Central Florida, you're going down.
Oh yeah, who they
Who are they
playing?
playing?
Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right.
it's
They have,
happening.
don't they have game day
9-1
there
and
stuff?
9-0.
Is Cincinnati 9-1?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I like that pick.
Yeah,
You know, I like that
that's
a
good.
lot.
I like it. That's a good. I
wish I would have thought of it.
That's pretty good. That's cool.
All right. You know what? Mark me down for
Happens
Syracuse
when
over
you
the
have a
Irish.
degree.
All right.
Now I'm in more of a spirited condition. I was going to pick
and
USC
you should-
over Notre Dame
You
the
should
last
want that
game.
because that would, if you guys win, that solidifies you as number 3.
Yeah. But
And-
what I really wanted Clemson to get knocked off, which it wasn't even close. but
yeah, I don't think
Boston
they're gonna-
College had no offense.
They're playing Duke, so
Yeah, but I wanted them to lose to Boston College.
More like you.
Because I wanted Notre Dame and Michigan to
Little
play in the
ribbon.
playoffs if we got in, and then could continue our little revenge tour. And then we play.
God, I hate you guys so much.
Oh my God.
So much.
I swear to God.
Blue, baby.
We just-
Revenge Tour 2018, yeah.
Oh my God.
Could have added one more. Anyway, didn't happen. But Clemson irritates me, and I would love a chance
Irritates
for
everyone.
Michigan to play
Clemson is
Clemson.
Alabama Junior.
I know, but they're not as good this year. They're really not. Syracuse, I know if
They've
Syracuse
had
had
a
them
lot
beat,
of close games.
Texas A&M had them beat,
And a
and
lot of close games.
they're very, very, very good. But
If it
they're
weren't
not.
for mistakes by the opponents towards the end of the game, they would have lost by now.
Yeah.
So
That's why I get irritated because
But
I'm
that's-
tired of them, and I feel like this year somebody should have beaten them.
Well,
but
that's
they
why
didn't.
I really hope that whoever comes in the 3 spot, because I don't see Clemson moving from number 2.
No.
I
don't
really
either.
hope to see whoever comes in at the 3 spot and plays them just whoops their ass.
Yeah,
I
I would
would
love
love
that.
that.
Me too.
Yeah, but they're
Michigan,
not.
you wouldn't love it though.
It's not happening.
No, it's probably not. But if you
It's
get a
really
legit team in there, it could. It could. I've seen the stars align before.
Yeah.
You got to reach
You never know.
for them. Besides that, I don't think there's really, besides those, must-see games. I mean, I go through them.
I
it's
almost
like,
went with the Citadel over Alabama.
It's
but,
a classic game, but no.
do you notice, by the way, that this week the SEC just makes it a glorified bye week. Every single SEC team just plays a
To be
cupcake.
fair, we have Rutgers.
That's true.
Touche.
That's true. Because they used to have Vandy, but Vandy's better now. So
Yeah, actually legit.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, listen. Here's the deal. I hear people complaining about
The best in the
Alabama.
world. When I wake up, I piss excellence.
Stop complaining the fuck about Alabama. Shut the fuck up and win a championship. I don't care if Alabama plays an absolute schedule of full-on tarts. I don't care. Nobody has done what they've done, and they win the championship, so shut the fuck up. Quit bitching about it. You don't like that they schedule the Citadel? Neither do I. It sucks. It's lame. You don't like that their schedule is what it is? I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? They go
really
and they
upset
win every
He's
game
really
on that
upset about
schedule, and then they go win the national championship. That's called Dakota. So stop bitching about it. Shut up. If you can get your team to win every game, and you can complain all you want.
As soon as he's done, I'm going to bitch about it.
Exactly. But you're not going to go out and win a national championship. You'd rather go, oh, I had my wins in Big Ten, and then we got screwed in the championship game. No, you
In
didn't.
fairness to Phil, it's been a tough season.
True.
What does that have to do with anything?
I think you have a lot of pent up.
So what about
I don't know,
when,
you know, I just feel
what
like
about
I
I get tired of hearing people complain about the champion. There's somebody who's proven it over and over and over again.
People don't like them.
You don't have to like them. I didn't ask. I don't care. Hate their guts.
But that's how most people roll. When we get sick of people, when we hate them, then we go after them.
Yeah.
But, you know,
It's true.
their schedule isn't
Unless
very
it's
tough.
New
Like,
England
nobody-
and Tom Brady's the
but we think
quarterback,
that
and
it's okay.
he's a Michigan
But the-
former Michigan quarterback.
The reality
so now it's
is-
okay for them to dominate. I mean, it's just I don't love Alabama. I recognize their dominance, and they fucking do
Now
it.
you're talking
here.
about people bitching about Alabama who agree that they're the best and just don't like them, or are you talking about people who are saying they don't deserve to be where they are?
They play the Citadel. Okay, I get it that they.
But that's
they
a traditional
play
game. They play Citadel every year, I thought.
Right. Well, I seem
Rivalry.
to.
Isn't that a
They,
traditional
they
game?
only,
for
that's
them?
102-2 in the rivalry score.
Jesus.
But they do.
Just kidding.
I actually
Citadel's never won.
No, I legit. Oh, okay. Well, still,
No,
I
I'm
legit
just-
believed it. I was
no,
like,
I'm
in
just-
1891.
I'm just kidding.
No.
but is that not a yearly game that they play?
It seems to
But
be.
it seems like
I
it
just
is.
the
I
whole
swear
the
that's a
whole thing.
tradition.
The issue that I have with it is you throw it in this non-conference game right in the at the end of the year. It's literally a
Like
bye
when
week.
people are trying to figure out the playoffs and everything, and then you look at that. It's
Right.
just a buzzkill because
So
you're
one
hoping they're
thing-
going to get upset.
one
You're like,
thing
you're
I
not going to lose
hate,
to the
and
Citadel.
anybody can bitch about anything they want. I don't care. But I hate that people are. I hate that people are now, and especially sports programs, are talking about Alabama beating the Bills or beating the
Yeah.
Raiders.
No.
And they've literally put out lines on this, and this is complete bullshit because I don't care how good of a college team you are. You're not beating an NFL team.
No,
it's
never.
not going to
Not
happen.
gonna happen.
So please,
This is
at
not
ESPN,
basketball.
You're killing me. Stop
No.
putting that crap out there.
Honestly, I think if the Bills played Alabama, they'd win 31.
The Raiders. Who's
Raiders
the
Yeah.
shittiest NFL team?
Right
I
now,
would
it
say
could
the
be the
Raiders.
Lions.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
It was almost
whatever.
the Giants, but they won
They're
last
going to win
night.
by 4 or 5 touchdowns.
You're talking about grown man strength versus still developing strength. You're talking about way more hours, experience put in. I'm sorry, there's more time for the players to go over everything. They're not limited by the practices like the NCAA is.
No.
It's a different
I
ball
agree.
game
I
altogether.
hate it too.
Yeah. But so,
Now, if it was Michigan, I think they'd probably go.
Oh,
for
They'd have a
500,
chance,
you know,
right?
that'd be
Yeah,
different.
but they should really be.
I don't know how this happens,
Pass
but
to
just
that.
as I'm about to end every episode, Steve somehow finds something stupider to say each
Come
week.
on, they know I'm joking. All right, come on.
Who knows you're joking?
I don't.
Our
I guarantee
intelligent-
there are
I
followers.
don't know.
31 followers.
They're taking this very
They know-
seriously right
They
now.
know that I'm joking. They know that I'm joking.
Are you kidding
I
me?
think you're giving him
gonna
too much
get,
credit.
You're gonna get, somebody. Steve
I'm gonna say,
said. Wolverine Steve
said we could win.
I think we should skip Division One altogether. And
It's kind of, although we're using mocking voices, that's kind of a compliment to you that all your Michigan cronies look up to you so much.
Yeah.
Take your word.
Yeah.
Well, he's a Wolverines honk on Twitter. What do you expect?
Listen, nobody's denying that Steve's a pirate hooker, okay?
Jealousy is a very ugly thing.
No, it's not.
I am
Anyways, I look forward to shaving your
not
head.
jealous of being
Thank
on
you for
Twitter.
tuning in to another
I could be on
episode
Twitter if I
of
wanted
Big
to.
Ten Frenemies. Tune in next week.
We got
Rival
hey,
week.
next
Really,
week
we're
is
still gonna be
rivalry
here
week.
doing this,
Yeah, pretty much.
unless one of you guys loses.
We're going to talk about the game, and that'll be the last time you see one of us with hair.
Yes, very true. Very true. That's why I've been growing mine out. Thanks again for listening. OH.
Go Blue.
Go read.
There it is.